So you want your first $25,000 from Navy Federal. I'm gonna give you 5 steps to do before you apply for the Navy Federal credit card that will get you at least $25,000 approved on your first try. So number 1, let's talk about how to get into Navy Federal. As you know, the regular way to get into Navy Federal is by being in the military, or your family has to be in the military. But Navy Federal has changed their rules. Not only does your family member have to be in the military, but they also have to live with you. So if they don't live with you, Navy Federal might deny you access for membership. But here's the backdoor method. Let's say you're not in the military and your family member doesn't live with you. What you want to do is something called the Navy Federal backdoor method. And this is not no access code bullshit. Do not buy an access code from anybody, because moving forward to 2026, Navy Federal is starting to sue people for using access codes for membership. And also, you're getting scammed. I've been hearing about people buying access codes for $600 just for your account to get closed in 2 weeks by Navy Federal.
What more do you want from me? Oh my God.
They're using AI. So stop buying Navy Federal access codes and just try the backdoor method. Here's the method. But hold up, before I tell you about the Navy Federal backdoor method, make sure you like and follow. The more love I get in this video is the more source I'm gonna drop. So it's a win-win. But back to the method. So look, what you wanna do is call up Navy Federal. You're basically gonna say, hey, my grandfather or grandmother is deceased and they were in the Army. My mother basically told me that I could get membership with Navy Federal. So I'm just wondering what we could do. Usually, if you get a good rep, they're gonna let you in. They're not gonna ask for no documentation or any type of forms. Sometimes you might get a bad rep. All you gotta do is hang up and try again with a different rep. I wouldn't recommend calling in the same hour. I would say wait another hour so you get a different rep. So next, this is phase 2. You wanna boost your Navy Federal internal score. So the reason why a lot of people love Navy Federal is because Navy Federal will give you $25,000 even with bad credit. So even if your score is lower than a 670, they'll give you $25,000, but you have to max out your internal score. So here's the thing. So usually once I get my client in Navy Federal, they start off at an internal score of 100. The goal that you want to get to is 400. 400 is the max internal score in Navy Federal. 400 basically means that you're reliable and you're locked in with them. If you're at 100, that means they don't fuck with you. If you're at a 0, they definitely don't fuck with you. They probably gonna close out your account. So like I said, the goal is to get from that 100 all the way to 400. Once you're at that 400, that's how you know you're green for 25,000. But if you have good credit, and I'm talking about a 670 with no charge-off, no collections, no nothing, you don't really have to wait for that 400 internal score. You could probably get approved with just your credit profile. If you don't know what you want to do, just drop a question down below and I'm gonna get that answered to you. So the next question is, how do you boost up your internal score? So remember, Navy Federal's internal score is basically a relationship meter. 400 being the highest, 0 being the lowest. So how you boost it up is the more products you use from Navy Federal is the higher your score is gonna be. So usually once you join, you already have the checkings and the savings. That's 2 products. What you wanna do next is open a pledge loan and open a certificate of deposit. It's called an Easy Start certificate. The minimum is 50. A lot of people be on here telling y'all to drop 3,000, 4,000 in that, but you do not have to. The minimum is $50. The goal is just to increase your products with them. We're not really trying to use that account. I recommend to my clients is drop 50 cash so you can get that account. Once the Easy Start certificate is open, that's 3 products. That's a check-ins, a savings, and a CD. Next, you want to open a pledge loan. With the pledge loan, it's kind of the same situation. You can just drop the minimum. We just want that product open. But listen, there's a lot of ways you can use that pledge loan to get higher limits. I'm talking about $50,000 from these other banks. But that'll be a whole different video. If you want that video, comment pledge loan down below and I'll make a separate video on that. So look, you got 4 products from Navy Federal now, right? You got the check-ins, the savings, the Easy Start, and a pledge loan. What you want to do next to boost up that internal score is add direct deposit straight to your check-ins. If you're working a 9 to 5, you want to put your direct deposit straight to Navy Federal's check-in. Once your first check goes through Navy Federal, that will boost up your internal score even more. So that's basically 5 different ways to boost up your internal score. So boom, let's say you had a 400 and your credit score is okay. Here's the tip that a lot of people's not telling y'all. You should not be calling up to apply for a credit card, because if you call up, you're gonna get a hard pull on your TransUnion automatically. Instead of calling up, what you wanna do is go on a pre-qualification page on the Navy Federal app. By using the pre-qualification page, you're gonna save yourself from getting a hard inquiry. The pre-qualification is gonna let you know if you're approved before they hard pull your TransUnion. So let's say you're pre-qualified for the credit card. If you accept the offer, that's when they're gonna pull your TransUnion as a hard pull. So that's a quick tip. Make sure y'all like this video so I can drop more videos. My favorite Navy Federal credit card is the Rewards credit card. All the other credit cards I don't really like, nor do I have. The flagship credit card to me is overrated. It's not really that good. and the other cards are too basic. So I would only go for the more rewards. And the more rewards, you could get 25,000 on your first try. Like my client right here, he had a 670, but he boosted up his internal score to a 400. That's why he got 25,000 on his first approval. Let's fast forward to phase 4. Let's say they only give you 2,000 as your credit limit. How do you go from 2,000 to 25,000? You're gonna do a credit limit increase. So here's a gem that a lot of people is not talking about. Every 91 days, you can ask for a credit limit increase. And the thing about it, if you do it on the app, you can select how much you want on that increase. So if you're starting off from 2,000, you can ask for 25,000. And usually, from what I've seen, Navy Federal will meet you halfway. So instead of giving you full 25,000, they might give you 15,000. So that's a quick gem. I wouldn't really recommend calling Navy Federal for a credit limit increase because I've seen them hard pull TransUnion just for a credit limit increase if you call. So it's better just to do it on the app. Look, y'all, if you need more help, you can click the link in my bio or just comment easy down below, and I'll send you the Navy Federal guide so you get your first 25,000. Like and follow for more credit tips. Let's win.